Each morning, real RSI setups are broken down with entry strategies and the technical reasoning behind every trade. This is RSI Trade of the Day with Verified Investing.
Welcome to the RSI Trade of the Day. My name is Benjamin Poole, head trader here at Verified Investing. Thank you guys so much for spending your morning with me on this Wednesday morning. Okay, so LVS ended up hitting our first entry level. It wasn't my RSI trade of the day. It did get a great bounce off that level and is continuing higher. We're going to go ahead and go over that. I also have a stock that I had talked about previously, and I'm going to go over that stock about the middle of this program, and then stay tuned towards the end. I have something special for you guys. I'm going to send you guys my watch list, and I'm going to show you how, or I'm going to tell you what to do to get my watch list and what I look for. Okay, so first off, let's go ahead and just go into the RSI recap on LVS. So here is LVS. I had mentioned that the RSI indicated that we had lower to go on Tuesday morning based on what was happening in the RSI. And then you switch to the daily time frame, and I said this first level of support is going to be this green bar candle at $45.80. We got down to $45.82 in the pre-market, and then look at what happened. Off to the races you go. So when you guys are looking at the RSI, so the RSI, relative strength indicator, is a momentum indicator. So what it does is it gives you an idea of the momentum of the stock. So what I do is I take what's happened the previous day, the momentum of that particular stock, and it gives me an indication of where the likely pullback in this case is, and then a bounce, right? So think of the RSI as an extension move, right? As soon as something is beaten down so much over and over again, all of a sudden those sellers step out of the way and allow the buyers to then step in. It's almost like a springboard effect. Push it down so much, and then all of a sudden it releases the pressure, and that's what shoots the stocks up. Same with on the upside, which is one of the reasons that I can, with pretty accurate readings, tell you how far the extended move is going to be, and then we're likely to get a pullback. Because if you have so much momentum going to the upside over and over again throughout the rest of the day, eventually the sellers will step in, the profit takers will step in and push that back. So that is why I like the RSI. It gives me an indication of what it's going to do the following day based on today's price action. Okay, so LVS was a great example of what happened. Now we're having a good bounce to the upside. MP is another one that I still like. It's starting to get overextended on the daily time frame. I was mentioning that it could go up to $100. Now I think the max upside is 110. So for me, this is a shortable level. $110.33 for a swing trade. Look at what happened to the RSI. It continued higher. Now it's getting above the 70 and starting to stall out. So the momentum in this stock is starting to wane. And when you see that on a stock that's had this decent volatility in the markets, maybe the extension move or the buyers are exhausted, and that could pull the price of MP down. Another one that I was looking at the other day or yesterday was SoundHound. SoundHound is a great example of how the RSI can stay elevated to the upside, pushing this momentum even higher. This gives you an indication that buyers are continuing to step in, and it's likely to continue to push up higher. Today, we did get a pierce of the 30 on the RSI. However, if you notice, this was on the back of news. So there was another tweet came out by Trump, and that pushed the stock price down. The RSI then hit 30, and then all of a sudden you see this in the pre-market. So what I'm going to do is, this is actually going to be my RSI trade of the day. So let's go ahead and play that zinger. So the RSI trade of the day today is $23.95. It could stop a little bit before that and get to this high pivot point. But right now it's telling me that SoundHound is overextended. Look at what's happening with the RSI. It has some good volatility in it. And so based on this overextension, $50 or 50% move from this low pivot, $22.85 is likely where it's going to head to and then pull back. So anytime I look at the RSI, I look at what's happening in the previous price action, where the profit takers are likely sitting, or if you are long on SoundHound at this $22.85 level, you're likely going to exit the position thinking, I was down on SoundHound hugely, and now once we get back to our break even, I'm willing to just take a break even on this stock. So $22.85 is where that first pullback is. If it breaks that level, we will get up to my RSI trade of the day, which is $23.95. This I'm looking for about a 4 to 5% pullback if it gets up into this gap fill. But based on what's happening in the RSI, it should get there today. This has to play out within the first hour and a half to 2 hours. So after noon, after 12 o'clock, this trade is off of the table. I'm no longer interested. Or if it gets really close to that level and does a 4 to 5% pullback, I'm no longer interested. And then on a 15-minute closing basis, I'm going to stop out on a 15-minute closing candle above our entry price. Okay, so those are kind of my little different factors that have to play into the trade for SoundHound. IREN is another upsloping trend line that continued to stay really strong. The RSI, look at how much buying pressure was in this stock. I know we've gone over this before. $75 for me is the upside target. This is where I'm likely to short this thing today. Could go up to $77.50, but that would be, for me, the max upside in IREN. If you look at the daily time frame, this is, again, another stock that's getting overly extended, creating some negative RSI divergence. Basically, what I'm looking at is the relative strength index is moving lower as price action continues to move higher. This is that kind of rubber band effect. After you get super extended in the charts, you're likely to get a pretty sizable pullback. So that's what I'm looking at. Okay, CRDO, you guys. This trade I had picked out yesterday. I was looking at the RSI. Look at this chart. Just continually down pressure throughout the rest of the day. It tried to get back above $150. Nice pullback. For me, this indicated that we were going to have another pullback to the downside. Now let's go to the daily time frame, show you what I was noticing. This thing is below the 50 on the RSI. So this is a very strong stock. So for me, this indicates that you're going to get a bounce today. And look at this. This was that beaten up stock that I'd mentioned in the title, that it's going to get a bounce. Look at this beautiful upsloping trend line. A lot of support in this area. Just filled the gap yesterday. So for me, this CRDO favors a move back to the upside. Probably get up to about $172, $173. I love the RSI chart for CRDO. Okay, a couple other stocks that I'm watching. QBTS. QBTS is another stock. If you go to the daily time frame, is starting to get overextended as well. One thing I do like about QBTS is you're getting these big catastrophic move, 18% to the downside, 60% to the upside. Now, if we get up to $50.06, this is where I'm going to institute a short. This would be more of a swing trade short. And then on a daily closing basis, if it closes above $50.06 on a swing trade basis, I would stop out of this trade. But you can get a 10, 15, or even 20% pullback on QBTS. It should get up to that level based on its overextension. SNDK is another stock that's starting to wane as far as the buying pressure is getting into it. You're continuing to get this topping tail, a reversal candle, and then this price consolidation. So there's a couple different ways this price action could go. If we start pushing higher in the RSI, we could make another push up, hit up to 140, and then my max upside would be 150. This would be where I'm looking to institute a short on a swing trade basis. Or if price action gets back to this down-sloping trend line, this is where I'd be a buyer on SNDK. Okay, I have another trade for you guys today. At PFE, look at this RSI action. Stayed pretty negative on the day yesterday. So this gives me an indication that we still have a little bit further to go. And then I have this upsloping trend line. So there's a couple different ways you can draw upsloping trend lines. You can take this low pivot area, this low pivot area, and connect these. And so anytime you get basically back to this upsloping trend line, this is where I would institute a long position. One thing that I will say about PFE, based on the RSI indicator, the momentum indicator, you have some good RSI volatility as well as price volatility. Look at that, 16% to the upside and then 15% to the downside. So this for me is a swing trade long position, and it's also a dividend paying stock. So I really like that. Okay, so if you guys comment RSI trade of the day in the comment section, I'm going to send you my watch list. So my watch list is pretty extensive. And so what I do is every single night, right after the market closes, I go to the intraday charts on the extensions to the upside and the downside, the max movers, and that's what I look at. So if you guys want a copy of my watch list, please comment RSI trade of the day, and I will send that over to you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoy this content, make sure you're sharing with your friends, you're liking, you're subscribing, you're ringing that bell so you can get notified every day. And so you can start picking up on some of the indications that I get in these charts to give you guys some proper setups, even without my trades of the day. Okay. Please stay tuned. Gareth Soloway is going to be going live in less than 4 minutes on my trading game plan. You guys don't want to miss that one. All right. We'll see you guys next time in the charts. You guys have a great rest of your day. Take care.